What happens the moment you die? Where does your soul go? Heaven? Hell? Nowhere? This question has haunted humanity for thousands of years, and every religion has an answer. But Krishna's answer in the Bhagavad Gita is completely different and far more terrifying, yet liberating than anything you've been told. Most religions teach this: live good, go to heaven forever. Live bad, burn in hell forever. One life, one chance, eternal reward or eternal punishment. But Krishna says something that changes everything. In chapter 8, verse 16 of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna reveals, "From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery where repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains my abode never takes birth again." Wait, did you catch that? Even heaven is temporary. Even the highest realms are not permanent. You don't go to heaven or hell forever. You go there temporarily based on your karma, and then you come back. You reincarnate. Heaven and hell, in Krishna's teaching, are not destinations. They're pit stops. So, if even heaven isn't the final destination, then what decides where you actually go next? In chapter 8, verse 6, Krishna explains the mechanism. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail. In simple terms, your consciousness at the moment of death determines your next destination. Not what you believed, not what rituals you did, but what you were thinking about in your final breath. Friends, if you genuinely find value in my videos, you can support me through Super Thanks. It really helps. Now let's come back to the topic. Think of it like this. A musician practices for years. When the concert begins, their fingers move automatically. They don't think, they flow. Your death is your concert. Your entire life is the practice. What you've trained your mind to focus on will surface automatically when that moment comes. So where can you actually go? Krishna describes 3 broad paths. Path 1, higher realms, temporary heaven. In chapter 9, verse 25, Krishna says, "Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of the demigods. Those who worship ancestors reach the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits reach them. And those who worship me come to me." If you live virtuously, perform good deeds, but remain attached to enjoyment, you go to higher planets, beautiful realms, pleasure, peace. But it's not permanent. Your accumulated good karma acts like credit. You enjoy the rewards, but when the credit runs out, you're back, reborn on earth or lower. Path 2, lower realms, temporary hell. In chapter 14, verse 15, Krishna explains, "When one dies in the mode of passion, he takes birth among those engaged in fruitive activities. And when one dies in ignorance, he is born in the animal kingdom or lower species. If you live driven by greed, lust, anger, violence, you descend, not to a fire and brimstone hell, but to realms of greater suffering, limitation, and ignorance. You might be reborn in painful circumstances or in forms where consciousness is more restricted. This isn't punishment from an angry God. It's the natural consequence of a mind steeped in darkness. But here's the key. It's still temporary. You suffer, you learn, karma burns off, and eventually you get another chance, another human birth, another opportunity. Path 3, liberation beyond heaven and hell. In chapter 15, verse 6, Krishna reveals the ultimate destination. That supreme abode of mine is not illumined by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world. This is moksha, liberation, freedom from the cycle entirely. Not heaven, not even the highest paradise, but union with the divine, a state beyond birth, beyond death, beyond suffering. This is the goal Krishna points toward, not temporary pleasures in heaven, but permanent freedom. So how do you ensure you don't end up in lower realms? How do you move toward liberation? In chapter 8, verse 5, Krishna gives the key. And whoever, at the end of their life, quits their body remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. Of this, there is no doubt. The practice is simple, but not easy. Remember the divine, constantly. Not just in temples, not just during prayer, but in every action, every thought, every breath. Live in such a way that when death comes, and it will come, unannounced, your mind naturally turns toward the highest truth. In chapter 2, verse 13, Krishna reminds us, as the soul passes in this body from childhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. Death is not the end. It's a transition, a doorway. The question is, what have you prepared yourself to walk toward? Here's the truth most people miss. Heaven and hell are both traps. One is pleasant, one is painful, but both keep you in the cycle. Not traps created to punish you, but stages that keep you bound until your consciousness evolves beyond them. The real question isn't, am I going to heaven or hell? The real question is, am I breaking free from both? Because as long as you're chasing pleasure or running from pain, you're bound. You'll go up, you'll go down, you'll come back again and again. But the moment you stop chasing, stop fearing, stop clinging, you become free. Not after death, right now. Krishna's teaching isn't about securing a nice afterlife. It's about waking up in this life. In chapter 14, verse 14, Krishna describes those in sattva, goodness. When one dies in the mode of goodness, he attains the pure, higher planets of the great sages. And yet, even this is temporary. The real goal is beyond planets, beyond realms, beyond the cycle itself. Think of it like this. Two people live in the same house, but their inner worlds are completely different. One carries anger, envy, fear. He's living in an inner hell. The other carries peace, compassion, clarity. He's already living in heaven. Same world outside, different world inside. Krishna is pointing to this simple truth. You don't go to heaven or hell. You grow into them. Your afterlife isn't decided at death. It's decided by the accumulated moments of your life. Every thought you choose, every emotion you feed, every intention you cultivate is shaping the realm you will wake up in next. Death doesn't change you. It reveals you. It simply shows you the destination your consciousness was already walking toward. That's why Krishna keeps saying, don't wait for death to fix your direction. Fix your direction while you're still alive. So here's what you need to understand. You're not going to heaven or hell forever. You're going to wherever your consciousness takes you, and then you're coming back, unless you transcend the whole game. Your life right now is deciding your next destination. Every thought, every action, every moment of awareness or distraction. Death is not the end of the exam. It's just the bell ringing. And the results? They determine your next classroom. So stop living in fear of hell or greed for heaven. Start living to break free from both. Your next life is shaped by the choices you make today. Not someday, not after death, but right now. If this message stirred something inside you, then like, share, and subscribe, and explore the full Death Loop series appearing on your screen. It will take you even deeper into Krishna's teachings on the soul's journey.